I want to talk about the importance of being a leader and sacrificing. And I was going to film this in a professional setting, but I was in the middle of doing some work and writing some notes, and a thought popped into my mind. So I felt like I needed to get my point across now. But a lot of men want to be this leader, want to be the best versions of themselves. But what I noticed, the one thing that they lack the most is the discipline to remove the vices in their life that are actually keeping them stuck. Now, a lot of people think deep down that the reason why, or the reason they are struggling to become the best versions of themselves is external circumstances or external reasons, and they always blame it on people or things happening in their lives or this circumstance. But that's never the case. And the only reason I know this is because I've worked with hundreds of men, and it always leads back to the same thing, which is the reason why you can't step into that 2.0 version of yourself and be the leader that God needs you to be and the people around you need you to be, is because you have vices behind closed doors that you're not telling anyone about. And the only reason I know this as well, and I can confirm it, is that was me. And it seems to be a common occurrence across every man that I work with who struggles with being a leader, is the things they're hiding in the closet. They don't bring it to light. And as a Christian man, the one thing that I've been holding close to my heart ever since I stepped into faith, because I used to be this sinful man that used to hide everything and watch pornography, lust, basically every bad habit under the sun. And I used to hide that away from everyone. And when I hid that away, it grew. A lot of other men do the exact same thing. And they wonder why they can't conquer these thoughts that enter their mind. They can't conquer these vices. It's because you are hiding behind the closed door. Because every morning you wake up, how do you expect to change if you're not being the most honest version of yourself? Not to the people you know, but to God and to yourself. And as soon as you own up and come clean of these vices you're hiding behind closed doors, that's when you can actually start progressing. Because every day you don't wake up with guilt, every day you don't wake up with shame, and every day you don't wake up as a liar, is a day that you have the mental bandwidth and freedom to step into that new version of yourself. And that's what I find time and time again with my past behaviors, with every man that I work with, and every man that I have a conversation with that always asks me or sends me a message on Instagram. I'm struggling to be the leader I want to be, or how do I become the best version of myself? And it always ties back into that same concept. Once I get on a call with the person, or I speak to a brother I'm working with, or some random who I meet on the street or in the gym, what's truly going on behind closed doors? And if you're someone who's thinking, oh no, it's definitely not that, trust me, have a look at your entire life, take an hour, sit down and reflect on what you're doing behind closed doors. And if there's anything you feel shameful about, that is probably the reason why you can't step into your best version of yourself. And the amazing thing is, especially being a Christian, is you can give it up to God and pray about it. But once you confront it head on, it becomes a lot easier to navigate. So I'll give you an example. So I used to be heavily addicted into pornography. I used to be a sex addict. Used to destroy relationships. Used to be heavily into drinking, deceiving, basically a lot of sin. And when I kept that down and I didn't bring it to light, the devil could pry on my weaknesses, on my vulnerabilities, make me feel shame. And every morning I woke up and got out of bed, I had no drive. And I kept asking myself time and time again, why don't I have drive? And my drive, and I'm going to give you an analogy, my drive is the fire in my body. My vices and the things I'm hiding behind closed doors is the water, right? Every time or every day I was doing the vices and hiding and lying and hiding behind the closed door, I was basically pouring out my fire, my drive, every single morning. But as soon as I bring it up to light, the devil couldn't pry on it. And those weights got lifted off my shoulders. That's when I started to find my purpose. That is when I started to find fulfillment. That is when I started to be the leader for my loved ones. And who God needed me to be to step into that leadership role so he could gift me things in my life to bless others. All because I decided to get rid of the vices that were holding me back and stop being a coward and owned up to everything that I did and confronted it head on. Because, especially if you're a man of faith, God can be the only one who can truly judge you. So it doesn't matter what the external sources say. Because I am telling you right now from experience and all the men that I've helped, opening up and facing the things that you're hiding behind closed doors is going to allow you to be the best version of yourself and be the leader that you need to be and you know you should be. But you're just too scared to own up to the things that you're doing. And I get it, I was there. But I am telling you from first-hand experience, the sooner you get it done, the sooner you find your purpose, you find your drive, and you stop waking up with shame, and you start carrying yourself differently every single day. Because imagine walking into a room and you don't have this weight on your shoulders. You can walk into the rooms with confidence. You can hang out with people because you know who you truly are, and people know who you are. And you're not carrying around the guilt, because that guilt is like a 100-kilo bag on your back every single day. So how can you be the leader and operate at the efficiency that you want to if you're just carrying that around? So don't feel like the world is going to come down on your shoulders when you actually face all these things head on. Because remember this, God is the only one who can truly judge you. And if you're on the borderline of feeling scared, of going all in and facing these things head on, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for your loved ones, do it for your spouse. And if you run a business, do it for the people in your company so they can respect you as the leader they need you to be. Because at the end of the day, how can they respect you if you don't even respect yourself behind closed doors? So make sure you own up to these things and your life will truly change.